Morning.
Good morning.
Marla, I'm registered for the ladies' luncheon next week. I've never been before. Is there anything I need to know about that?
No, ma'am. Just
Okay.
show up. We're going to have fun.
I was invited, so I thought, well, it'd be worth a try, you know?
Yes, for sure.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How everybody doing this morning?
Pretty good so far.
It's a Monday.
Love this weather.
Yeah.
I know. The fall chill is coming in.
Place for that.
Let me join in. Let me.
Whoa, there's Kenny.
Hey,
Man, you're like huge.
yeah, I'm too close probably. Hey, that's why I'm huge. Look
Oh,
at that guy.
man. Got a beauty show going on over there.
Hey, everybody. There's Eddie.
Hey, everybody.
Mark, we see the top of Mark's head. Yeah, Kilroy.
Hey, watch this. There we go.
There you go.
How y'all doing?
About how you doing?
Nearly perfect today. I hope you are as well. Man, I looked over the notes from the last meeting. There's been a lot of stuff going on, young man.
There has been a lot of stuff going on.
And I don't know if Justin is going to be joining us today or not. Hopefully he gets the note about these.
He does. As a matter of fact, I don't want. Yeah, he should. I think Miss Marla sent it to him.
Today's Zoom meeting is brought to you by Crest Pro Health.
Yeah, look, Jamie, it's upside down.
Brush your teeth. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you, brother. Hey, if you see Justin over, see if he wants to tune in too, in case he can add anything. Hey, I think he's probably at his desk. But anyway, I hope everybody had a good weekend.
Sure did, Kenny.
Hey, Mark, can I start off something while it's fresh on my mind?
I wish you would.
I know there were some comments over the weekend about the clock tower. Two different things. I think there were some folks commenting. I think Justin's going to put something out on Hip Mount Juliet about the batteries being changed in it. It doesn't run on batteries. It runs on electricity. And unfortunately, due to a lightning strike and a power surge, the control box inside of the clock tower is burned up. And as everybody knows, getting pieces and parts now is pretty tough. And there's not a lot of clock towers around, so you just have to wait like everybody else to get it. So if anybody asks you about the clock tower, we're waiting on that controller box to come in. And the other comment is sometimes folks say that the Roman numerals are incorrect on the clock. And if you Google search, you'll see that that's not true. The Roman numerals are correct. When you do a clock tower as opposed to maybe like a wristwatch, it's presented differently. So that's something that comes up every once in a while. So I figured you guys could help me get the answers out there if anybody asks you about that.
I think it's ironic that we would have a clock tower struck by lightning
I know it's sort of like Back to the Future, isn't it?
with a DeLorean right down
Yeah.
there down Mount Juliet Road.
So if y'all know anybody's got a DeLorean, we could borrow it for a couple of days. I'd like to park it out there and just sort of have
Run a
it.
cable. Yeah.
Run a cable to it. Maybe
They may not all get it, Kenny. So
There might be some folks on here that's not old enough to remember the movie. It's been a few years ago now. But anyway.
what else is going on? If you have questions, if Kenny doesn't see you, raise your hand or whatever, put a note in the chat. I was thinking this morning, you've been doing this for a year and a half, and we got a great group on here this morning. We'll try to respect everybody's time and be done by 10:30 if we can. And I won't take any more of your minutes, Kenny, but I know you guys have been busy, and
We have been, and as everybody can see, it's the county's been a little unique recently, and getting materials has been tough. So for anybody that's out there building a business or expanding, it like we do. For example, we were trying to do an expansion on the police station, and the numbers have come back way larger than what we had originally anticipated. And of course, that's not the city's fault, and it's nobody on staff's fault. It's just sort of a sign of the times, and it's something we're all having to deal with. So if you see somebody out there that's broken ground or building a new business or doing an expansion, please be most thankful for them, because the fact that there's any expansion going on right now is pretty amazing. And Mark, I think you know what I'm talking about. When I give an example, our cost on the police expansion went from, hey, we got a guest here. I'm gonna get him to bring over his chair so y'all can so you can have twice as much handsome in one morning.
It's a lot now.
That's a lot. And Justin adds the twice as much. So let's see there. Oh yeah, look at that.
How's everybody doing?
Yeah.
Happy Monday.
Yeah, look at Mark. Mark's just looking at it in awe, isn't he? He's just looking at that going, gosh, too good to be true. That's too much gorgeous for a Monday morning.
Something like that.
Yeah, but we talked about the clock tower, and now we're talking about, delays on things. We give you an example, Mark. Our police station expansion and team was supposed to be a little over $6 million, and it came back in recent times, and we're going to have to rebid it at about $21 million. So you can see that's just a little over what we budgeted. And then we had the same thing with the fire station, but luckily it wasn't near as big a leap. So still moving forward on the fire station. But the problem with it is we won't get the steel until February or March. So when you see these projects out there being built, like the First Baptist Church on Mount Juliet Road, and you see all that steel laying out there, you wonder how lucky they are to have gotten that when they ordered it when they did, or school expansions or schools being built, Whataburger, Camel Car Wash, places like that are actually moving forward. So anyway, I didn't know if anybody else is dealing with that, but if you see some businesses out there expanding, be thankful for them, because we're not seeing a whole lot of that right now. And it's not because business isn't good in Mount Juliet or in Middle Tennessee. It's just simply because you just can't get a lot of things.
I see Rachel's on the line, and hey, Rachel, I saw where TDOT had to delay the completion of a project. I want to say in Mac Hatcher Parkway, if I'm not mistaken, or Sam Ridley one, because they couldn't get the steel or metal for the guardrails, and they can't call the road done until they have guardrails up. Y'all are scattered all over doing different projects. Is it putting a cramp on your style as well?
Not so much from what we do, because we just handle everything from the ground down. So we're not doing any ordering of that. Now it has even the ordering of the precast and some of the pipe supplies have been delayed, and really we're having to pay more for one dealer that can actually get it processed in time versus saving some money somewhere else. So yeah, we are seeing on that end, the steel doesn't affect us, but
Okay.
can affect people not wanting to do projects. Like you said, where there's been an abundance of projects up until now, but if people start getting that bigger prices, they're just going to delay the projects.
Got it.
Yeah, well said, Rachel. I'll give you an example. The Cadillac dealer, a lot of people asked when they were going to break ground, and part of the reason they haven't broken ground, according to the owner, is just simply because they're waiting for costs to come down. And, you budget thinking on one set of numbers, and when those numbers change, a lot of times it just doesn't make sense for you to start yet. So that disappoints us a little bit, but we definitely understand. And the one thing good is that, you hope prices will come down. That's the thing, is just the uncertainty of it. But I'm optimistic, and I think the price will start coming down a little bit at some point. And, some of these projects, if they delay a little bit, maybe some of the projects will get caught up, and then everything will get back to normal. But that is one of the things that we're dealing with right now. Fortunately, it doesn't look like it's going to hold up our bridge project. We're very appreciative of the state and the partnership with them on the bridge project at 40. And if everything goes well, that project should be complete in the spring of 2022. It could be delayed just a little bit, but that's going to be an absolutely gorgeous project. And, a lot of people have asked over the years how we could go about getting those state TriStar emblems, like you see maybe a little further east of here, like toward Crossville and Cookville. And this bridge will have those red, white, and blue sort of TriStar markers, if you've seen those on the bridges. I've been envious of those for years, so we're excited about that, how something so simple could make something look so much better. But again, we want to thank the state for their partnership on that.
I
And
talked to Andy last week, and that's what he was most excited
Yeah.
about. I think after the first pour is done, at least on the side, that he's going to be able to put that on there
That's
as
right.
soon as possible. So that's that Mount Juliet pride in us.
That's right. We're looking forward to that for
Yes,
sure.
sir.
Yeah, and they'll have street lights and, pedestrian sidewalks, which we hadn't had on that overpass in the past, and bike lanes as well. So it'll be much more decorative and attractive. You wouldn't think you'd get that excited about a bridge, but just getting that extra lane is going to make a tremendous difference. So very excited about that. So Mark, I guess what I could do before I get to rambling too much is just ask if anybody's got any questions about anything they've heard or seen or whatever around town. I see Miss Kathy. Miss Kathy, if you'll unmute. She is muted. There you
Now.
go. There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I just wanted to know if there's anywhere I can look to see a rendering of the finished bridge.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's on their tracker or not, but let me see if we can get a picture of that. Justin will help me remember, since he's got a younger mind, and see if it's something we can send out to Mark that he can share with the members.
Okay,
We're hoping to
thanks.
do a feature this week with Andy Barlow. He brought it to my attention a couple of weeks ago. We're going to try to highlight Public Works and the good work that they do. But there's a capital projects dashboard where you can go on there and just about anything in the city. It's updated bi-weekly or weekly as far as I'm concerned. And you can see what's left of a project, how much completion is done, and when it's supposed to be completely done, which is something new that I didn't know about. So I think somebody at home that is curious about a project that they drive by, that something like that will be answered for you, Kathy, very soon. But I'll work on getting a rendering of that, and hopefully, I'm sure you have that question and many others do too as well.
Thank you.
Miss Phyllis, you're muted too.
Okay.
There you go.
I know it's me. I'm sure it's me, but remember we used to get the weekly updates that you sent out on Friday afternoons?
Yeah, the blog.
I don't get it anymore.
That's
Am I,
odd, yeah.
where do I go?
We do send it. Is anybody else getting it on here or not getting it? Nobody's
I'm not
getting it?
Well,
I get it, but
on the little, it used to come on Nixle, And then
Oh,
last week, I got a notice, but it wouldn't open.
I got you. All right, let me talk to Travis and Miss Sharon this morning and see if we can figure out what's going on with that as well. Because we do still send those every Friday. Um, yeah, thanks for bringing that to my attention, Miss Phyllis.
Or if there's somewhere else I should be going to look. So.
No, you're doing right. I think it may be that when we changed from Nixle, that there's maybe a new sign up process with the new format that we've got that will get it under the new notice.
We'll get that fixed. And Kenny also has an idea as well for me to start a newsletter as well that will certainly have a spin from what he's sending out as far as the big events. He'll have more of the list. I'll have more of, specifics of maybe 2 or 3 big topics around the city for that week. I also post something every Friday on the Facebook page about the weekend events. It can be something as little as, riding the bike in the park with the librarian, or as big as, Oktoberfest in Wilson County. So be sure, we're hoping to spam you with all the information here. That's at least my job. So you can get it from a variety of different avenues.
Thank you.
I just put the link to the bridge rendering in the chat box for you.
Thank you, Mark.
Mark's
It
doing
was
the
there.
job for us.
That's
Nice.
You got a few projects that you talked about last month. Maybe you can touch on them if there's an update. The not to mention the parks, but Wind Tree Pines, Legacy Point, Velocity Motorsports, and let me see if there's another one or not. I think those are some of them. And Charlie's Place.
Okay. Yeah, the Velocity Motorsports, that's still coming to Mount Juliet, still like, I believe, one more reading at the Board of Commissioners, I believe, for final approval. As a matter of fact, I've been talking to a few residents in that particular area that were looking to come to the meeting. And it wasn't that they were for or against it, they were just more curious than anything. And I don't blame them. Anytime you got a building of that size coming, but once I explained to them what this particular business was going to be, what it was going to look like, and that there'd be no cars outside, and that the average car in there was, probably $500,000 to $1 million that were for sale. They felt a lot better about the project, but that project's still moving forward. Very excited about that project. There's another project that I still can't name yet that's moving into Mount Juliet, and it's a manufacturing company, but hopefully there'll be a little bit more to come on that soon. They're taking about 100,000 square foot building. It's a really good catch for Mount Juliet, just simply because it's high-end manufacturing, very technical, skilled type positions, with also a Class A type format to it. So that'll be in the Beckwith Farms development. And there's also 2 other businesses coming into that development as well. One is a door manufacturing company, which we're excited about, and that'll be real close to the Hollister Medical Building, if you're familiar with that, and Beckwith Farms, which is the industrial park where Under Armour is, if that helps everybody sort of get a better idea where that's at. The 7-Eleven on Golden Bear Parkway, that's coming along real nicely. They should be breaking ground soon on the next convenience market in front of Jackson Hill subdivision. There's also, Mark, you'd asked about Legacy Point. As you can tell, if you go by there, that project's still moving forward. Even with some of the delays, if you've been by there, you can tell that they've done all the clearing. And the first building to go up there will be a medical office building, which is exciting. You all know how it is. Once you build one building, and there's somebody that wants to be close to that building and so on. And this developer's been working on this project for a long time, so they've already got a lot of things going. There's one other thing I can't talk about in great detail, but it's a 40,000 square foot retailer that's looking to come to Mount Juliet, and they'll be submitting here real soon. I'm excited about it. I think once you find out who it is, you'll be excited about it as well. I think it'd be really good for our community. And then there's also a 100,000 square foot retailer that I don't have as much detail on it yet, but on the other, when I found out who it was, I'll tell you personally, I was very, very excited for our city, especially in these trying times. So, and a lot of that's because of the pandemic and of course the delay on getting materials and things of that nature. I hope to know more on that here real soon. But if you, Mark, you'd asked also about what was the other I left out.
Charlie's Place.
Yeah, Charlie's Place is still moving forward. I talked to Mr. Sellers that we were able to acquire. And I want to thank RJ Corman and also Nashville Eastern Railroad for partnering with us on the Charlie's Place. There's a little additional parking in the back, and we had to go through quite a few processes to get approval for Mr. Sellers to add some additional parking behind the little red brick building. He should be starting soon. That building's going to be remodeled on the outside. I'm not sure what colors he's going to pick yet, but I do know that he's going to be adding some stone and things of that nature to it. And at least one half, if not the whole building, will be a museum sort of retail type thing for Charlie Daniels. So they are starting the construction on the next phase, which you'll soon see Dunkin' Donuts being built. So very excited about that.
Christmas stores. Pretty excited to be here. Their timing has worked out pretty good.
It has, and that was purposeful. If you notice, they had the paper over the front windows for a long time, and I think a lot of people are like, well, that place isn't what I thought it was going to be. They know what they're doing. They're pretty smart, and if you've been by there lately, they've been absolutely packed. And of course, you know, we're close to Christmas, which that makes a lot of sense. But it's like anything else. Once the word gets out about something like that, the business picks up throughout the year. But this time of year, they're going to be packed, and if anything, parking is going to be at a premium. If you've been over there, there haven't been any parking places. So hence even more reason to go ahead and get the rest of that development built out. But the new Dunkin' Donuts will also include another building that will have multiple tenants in it. So you'll see that. It won't just be the Dunkin' Donuts on that site. There'll be another building. I know it's hard to envision right now because it doesn't look that big, but I think you'll be surprised with the finished product, and that's going to be really nice. I'd also like to thank Raj Patel for donating the fence around the clock tower. I don't know if y'all have had a chance to see that recently, but that was a local sponsor. So I want to give him a public shout out for stepping up and doing that for us. That is a very nice fence. I think it creates some separation from the road. We treat that area sort of as a park. That's where we have our Christmas tree lighting ceremonies and many other ceremonies for the city. And I think with Justin on board now, you'll start seeing more events being held there, and not only there, but then across the city as well. So I think that turned out really well, and I hope that everybody likes it. I think it's really cleaned up the corner. It goes well with the clock tower. So Mark, did that? The only one I didn't include in there is the Providence Central update. If you've been there, we've met with Mr. Murphy a few times lately. I will say, and I think we've got one of our representatives on the, I thought I saw her pop up, Commissioner Mullally. I want to thank her publicly because we all predicted that if that project got approved, it would be much more than just a set of high-end apartments. And I think sometimes apartments gets a bad rap. They should be, you know, sometimes called as rentable townhomes. I think you're going to be blown away by this development, and for the interest we're now getting in that development, I think it's going to push the Central Pike interchange quicker. And especially if these two tenants come on board that I mentioned earlier, this is just the start of some really good things for that particular location. And I am very, very excited about it and thankful to our commission for supporting that project.
Kenny, is the Italian Ice place still coming over by Baskin Robbins?
Yes, from my understanding, it is, Eddie. And you talking about, if you hadn't asked me, Eddie, I'd have told you the name. It's I remember there was a song named after it, and it's got the bullfrog, Jeremiah's. Yep, Jeremiah's is still coming from what I understand. I hadn't heard anything different. And of course, the donut place and then some other things as well. At one time, there was supposed to be like a high-end place that makes like different kinds of nuts, you know, peanuts and almonds and cashews and candied type nuts and things of that nature. I don't remember the name of it, but I think that's still a really good possibility. I hope it is, because I remember in the arcade growing up as a kid, we used to go down to 4th Avenue all the time, go through the arcade. And I think that place is still there. And if you hadn't been by it, maybe go there and see what we might get here, because it's pretty darn cool. And I think it's been there like 100 years. And you could smell it before you get there. So if you weren't craving nuts, you will once you go by that place. So pretty good stuff. Mark, I'm going to run through real quick some other things the city's doing. You know, all these road projects. Again, I'd like to thank the commission. We've got a retreat coming up here soon, and the state projects alone tally about $180 million. And so if you think about it, at the end of the day, most of that will be covered by the state, and the city's doing their skin in the game, even though a lot of these roads aren't just city roads. They're, of course, they're state roads, and they're utilized by anybody that wants to utilize them. the city elected leadership and the team here and the citizens see the importance in building those roads. So all your roads, the Central Pike, the South Mount Juliet Road, the Highway 70, and other roads like Central Pike, which is a state road as well, are all having design work, engineering, environmental, all that's being done as we speak in conjunction with the state. For example, the South Mount Juliet Road widening is in the hands of the state now because we've done our part, they've done their part, and now they're in the right-of-way acquisition stage. So a lot of times I know that there's questions about, when will these roads be done? And as everybody knows, roadways projects, not making excuses, just take a long time. That's just part of the process. And it's a necessary process. So we just have to be patient. But when those things finally occur, we're blessed to have them. And we're just thankful that we have the projects approved and they're moving forward. Just want to let everybody know those things are moving forward. And then there's also, as a part of the retreat, about $140 million of city projects, city road projects that our elected body has saw fit to say, you know what, we need to be working on all these projects simultaneously in some small way to be moving those projects forward. And the commission's in full support of those roadway projects as well. And that comes down to Old Lemon Dirt Road, East Division, West Division, the Western Connector, you name it, the roundabout at South Green Hill Road, lots of positive projects. So you have to start somewhere, and I'm just thankful that our city elected leadership supported these projects, and they've been in the works for some time. And I think you're going to see some ramping up of those projects here real soon. Traffic's always an issue. They've done a phenomenal job with police and fire and things of that nature. So probably our biggest need in the city right now, because emergency services and other services like parks are doing really well. And so what you're going to see is a whole lot more emphasis on infrastructure and roads. And you started seeing that with sidewalks and street lights and traffic signals and smaller versions of roadway improvements like right turn lanes and widened roadways. But you're going to see a lot more of that in the coming years. So any questions so far? Okay. Let me name
Come on,
off.
y'all.
That's okay. Hey,
Try to stump him.
Yeah,
Try to stump him.
All right, so if everybody's been by the Capital City Market, I know it breaks some hearts to see the old Capital City Market come down and to see the old house beside it and the barn and the little blue building out front go. But if you've been by there lately, you've noticed most all that's gone. They're having to take a little bit slower process on Capital City Market because there's a lot of steel in that building and they're trying to salvage as much of it as they can. And then they've got to get the tanks out of the ground, and they'll do that first. And so once they get all that done, you'll probably see the building come down, and you'll start seeing the lot between it and Slim Chickens be built up, because that site beside it where Camel Car Wash is going to go will be built up because those two projects will probably be built about the same time. So you'll have the Whataburger on the corner, and then you'll have the Camel Car Wash beside Slim Chickens. And what's exciting about that, there'll be a roadway on the east side and behind those two businesses that connects all the way down to Slim Chickens and F&M Bank, to where you can also have ingress, egress at the traffic signal. So that's a really good project for that end of town. There's another retailer looking across from Advanced Auto Parts, or actually it's AutoZone on Highway 70. So if you're familiar with that vacant field beside West Wilson Utility District, there's somebody looking at that project that we'll be presenting real soon. I know who it is, I just can't discuss yet, but I do think it'll be a good catch for Highway 70. And that's proven our point if we've been trying to push retail further east on Highway 70 towards, Golden Bear and things of that nature, because what we're hoping is that that'll drive the widening Highway 70 quicker. So, development drives infrastructure improvements as well. So very excited about that. Just down the road from that and close to the old Chronicle offices, if people are familiar with that, where the bicycle shop is, right beside that, there's a business that hadn't started yet called Big O Tire. At one time, it's supposed to be Midas Muffler Shop, if y'all remember that, but instead of a Midas shop, it's going to be a Big O Tire. You've got the O'Reilly Auto Parts that's going along really well down by Tractor Supply on 70. Again, another perfect example of redevelopment that took out an old car wash that was known to be, because it was abandoned, a haven for drugs and things of that nature. So that's gone. Glad to see that gone. Very excited about the new business. There's also going to be a Meb Court Retail Center. If you're familiar with Meb Court, it's right beside Advanced Auto Parts, which is on Highway 70 in Meb Court. If people are familiar with that, right in behind Advanced Auto Parts, there will be a development on Meb Court. retail center. Of course, we talked about the Cadillac dealership. That's still coming. They've bought the property. They've closed on it, and they've been approved at the city level. Just waiting on product costs to come down just a little bit. Heritage Medical is the medical office building that you see going up across from Rocky Williams Dodge Chrysler Jeep. That's going to be a really nice development. There's another building right there behind it. There's also a wash and roll car wash that's going to be coming in on Belinda Parkway, and also a urology medical practice coming in on Belinda Parkway. So I know I'm leaving some things out, Mark, but that's just a few of the things going on in Mount Juliet right now.
Kenny, what'd you say? Big old tire?
Yeah, Big O Tire.
Big O?
Yeah, like O,
So just like a tire store, basically.
Yeah, a lot like a tire store, exactly. Sort of like a discount tire discounters. If there's one thing for whatever reason we figured out we need around here, it's service for automobiles and it's parts. And so, you know, everybody thinks, how can you have so many people need so many tires? Well, there's a lot of cars in Mount Juliet, a lot more people living here now in Wilson County. So if you've been to any of these tire places, especially right now with some of them not having near as much help as they need, it's tough to get in. I don't know if anybody's went anywhere and had to have any service work done on your car or to get tires and things of that nature. But if you think you need something at your house right now, a dishwasher, a refrigerator,
Get it.
you might want to go ahead and order it. I mean, literally, it's gotten to the point to where if there's something you think you need, go ahead and order it, even if you just have to stick it in your garage in the meantime until you do need it. So much so that we've got the police department extra patrolling all of our new houses under construction just to make sure that burglars don't break in. Miss Phyllis probably understands that as well as anybody on here and steals the products. It used to be they'd put those things in a lot sooner. Now they're waiting to the 11th hour to put those things in simply because if the house is sitting empty, the thieves are looking for those types of things. And Mount Juliet's got a lot of growth, just like Wilson County, and takes these builders a long time to get those products in.
Hey, Kenny.
Oh, go ahead, Kevin.
I was going to say, I think it's Advanced Auto Parts there in Providence, next to Chada Thai. They just finished their first 3 months, and Vic was telling me that it was the #1 store in the nation at grand opening.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
You know, and how long have we all been talking about for years? We could just get an auto parts store over there. And the reason they couldn't put one over there is they couldn't afford the real estate. But once Pier 1 moved out and it gave that opening, that was a perfect fit. And I think this turned out really well. I think they've been good neighbors for folks over there. And as we all know, every one of us on this screen and beyond needs auto parts. You know, we have to have oil and other things. And it's nice to have a place where we can just run right down the road. We got plenty of eating places. I've been talking to a lot of the retailers, and some of them are seeing some employees starting to come back to work now. I think a lot of people aren't as, not that we don't need to be as concerned about COVID, but I think a lot of folks are getting vaccinated, and some people feel a little bit better about going back to work now, and hope to see a little bit more of that as well. So, I feel sorry for some of our retailers because a lot of times they either can't open their lobbies or they just don't have enough staff, and so I've sort of started thinking, I know that Justin's doing as well, is anytime I'm out in public and I'm dealing with a retailer, be it the young lady behind the register at Kroger or the person helping me at Longhorn, I thank them for the fact that they're coming to work, and serving other people. I understand it with the pandemic, that can be a scary thing, but I think we need to really thank the people that are out there working just like yourselves, because everybody's essential. The grocery store kids, the people that deliver the goods and things of that nature. Just imagine what it'd be like if we didn't have those things on the shelves when we got there. And the reason a lot of things aren't there right now is they're just still waiting to be delivered. So
don't fuss at the people. Don't fuss at the people that are working. You can fuss at the ones that stayed home, but
yeah,
the ones that are out there working a break. Hey, there's a couple of questions here real quick. A quick update perhaps on the Christmas parade, and Summer asked what happened to Gold's Gym.
The Christmas parade, well, we're going to have a lot of resources towards that than we have had in years past, even with the Christmas lighting walk, if I'm not mistaken, that's what it's called. I've never seen it in person, but we're trying to get Halloween out of the way, and then all of our resources are going towards that. But again, you will be spammed with information as far as everything pertaining to that. And it's going to be at the clock tower right across from the Christmas store. So that's pretty good timing for the store as well. Mm-hmm. So I'm certainly looking forward to that. That'll be December 11th as far as I'm concerned.
Yep.
That's the date for that. So
yeah. And we moved it up just a little bit because we were hoping that as they had the Christmas tree lighting ceremony, it'd be a little bit darker, so it'd look a little bit better. And this year's Christmas parade theme is a very patriotic Christmas.
That's right.
So you're going to see a lot of veterans and things of that nature and love for country in our parade this year. So I think it'll be a lot of fun. Hopefully the weather will be good, and hopefully everybody will be in a very spirit. I don't know what the right way to put that.
Patriotic.
Yeah, Christmassy spirit.
Yeah, Christmas spirit.
Yeah, but please definitely, I know y'all all know this because you're business folks, continue to support the local businesses. I know we're in some tough times, and it's tough, and sometimes it's hard to be motivated and excited. But you know what? We're blessed. We're very blessed, and we're in this together, and we got to get through this pandemic together and some of the other challenges that we've got. And the people I'm looking at on this screen and the people that are out there in the public, they're the ones that make things happen. That's where the rubber meets the road. It's not your local government, and it's not the federal government or any government. It's the people. And so we can't do what we do without you. And it's important for y'all to let us know where we're doing well and to let us know where we're not doing so well. And I'm just thankful because and I mean this sincerely, is when I see the people on this screen, even though the ones I can't see some of your faces, I know you're the ones making things happen out there, where people feel, like I see Miss Tracy there, and you're thinking about the things that they're dealing with in the medical field, and knowing that people can go right here in their own county and get all the medical services that they need. I think back for somebody that's been here 32 years ago, and there's a lot of things you couldn't get in Wilson County. Now you can get everything. So the things that we've been asking for as citizens, people are bringing, people are investing in. You think of Miss Phyllis and and Robinson crossing up there, and you think of the little park that wasn't there, and people told them that it couldn't be done, and it was. And you look at all the services there, and so I'm appreciative, because if you've been here any time at all, you realize just all the many blessings we've got, and it's hard sometimes to focus on that. But we work hard every day, just like you do, to make sure that we've got people that are falling in love with Mount Juliet and want to be here, want to invest here. But in order to do that, we got to take care of the people that we've already got here. And we strive very hard to do that on multiple levels, either for what Justin's doing, we're doing in the city, our City Beautiful team. But I am going to make a public outcry this morning, or a plea or a request. And I'm doing this publicly just because I love this fella a ton. But if you guys could continue to pray for Mr. Marty Potts, his wife has been in the hospital for coming on now 2 weeks. I'm not sure when she's going to get out, but we're praying that she is going to get out. They had a prayer vigil there yesterday about 2:00 at the hospital in the parking lot. And we just want to get her back feeling better, get her back home where Marty can love on her and take good care of her at home. And if you know Marty, or if you see him out, he's been coming into work. We've told him to do whatever he needs to do to take care of his precious wife first. But Marty feels good being here. And so we're going to love on him when he's here. And then when he's not here, we're going to be praying for him. So if y'all could add Marty's wife, Tanya, and Marty to your prayer list, I'd sure appreciate it. He's a good one. And if you ever had a chance to be around Marty, he's one of the finest human beings you'll meet.
Well said, Kenny. If you'll have someone reach out and share with us road closures on Saturday the 11th, we'll double up and help make sure that businesses know of the disrupted traffic patterns. They can then share it with their employees and customers for the parade. Just for some folks, a lot of people walking, it's a great day. For other people that can't pull in and out of their parking lot, such as Sellers Funeral Home, it's a little bit different experience. So we'll help them plan accordingly. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good point, Mark. And we always try to take that into consideration. And you're right, it is tough. So we try to coordinate with a lot of those folks ahead of time, either by personal outreach or public outreach, to let them know so that they're somewhat prepared for the event. And a lot of times they can take advantage of it. But you're right, sometimes it can be a bit of a disadvantage. So thank you.
I think as long as they know about it ahead of time.
Exactly.
And we don't need to assume that everybody already knows, but let's see if there's any community calendar says 11/2.
I was just answering somebody else's question, but we didn't get an update on Gold's Gym that Summer asked about.
Okay.
That's correct.
Unfortunately, there's another project looking at that particular location. Gold's Gym decided, I guess because of COVID, not to expand. That's about the time they were looking at doing the project is when the COVID come on board. And, a lot of the gyms are closing and shutting down. So they decided to pull that project. Doesn't mean that it still might not happen in Mount Juliet as that particular type of business picks back up again. but that's why you hadn't heard anything about that. It pretty much just went on mothballs for that particular location. And since that time, somebody else is moving forward on a project there. And to be honest with you, the project that will be coming, and this is no slight at all to Goats, we'd love to have them. And when they decide to come back, we'll find them a place. But this project that's looking at that particular location right now is much bigger and much more diverse. So sometimes when one thing doesn't come, it opens up opportunity for something much, much larger. And I can tell you the folks behind this project did a project in Mount Juliet. Mark, you may be familiar with these guys. They're really, really close to the chamber. And the project they're looking at doing that will be even better than what they've already done here. So look to get more information on that, Miss Marla and everybody else. That was a great question. I do think eventually Goes will probably come back to Mount Juliet, but that's why they went away. The same with the Capstone project on Mount Juliet Road. Remember the assisted living facility? The sign was taken down simply because it was outdated and there were so many questions coming as a result of when they were coming. They are still coming, but the assisted living industry took a big hit as well because of the pandemic and COVID. So they've sort of held that project up as well. But they own the project. They've been approved at the city level, and they're just waiting for the right timing.
Good deal. I think that takes care of all the questions in there. I'll leave everybody with just, we've got a ton of stuff going on if you're looking to get plugged in. Kaylin and her folks they have a amazing nonprofit council, leadership council now that is doing great things. They're meeting tomorrow. If you want to become more knowledgeable about LinkedIn, there's a business boost lunch. Lunch is provided if you pre-register. The presenter is going to talk about LinkedIn and how to grow your business and contacts. We got a ribbon cutting over at Vantage Station on Thursday afternoon. I think Friday is Success Mortgage. Next week, Good Morning Wilson County with Mayor Hutto. Actually, it'll be a couple of stand-ins for him. We got a Grow Your Business with Google program next Thursday. Next Thursday afternoon is Fall State Bank's open house and after party. We got a Leading Women next week on Thursday, I believe, and another ribbon cutting on Friday. So we're not slowing down any. There's plenty of places for you to get plugged in, make new friends, and get out. And I think I saw something, I'm sure many of you did as well, to keep in mind as we talk about supply chain disruptions and people warning us we better go ahead and get our Christmas shopping done or it's going to ruin Christmas and all of that. I thought it was pretty fitting. It said, if supply chain issues are going to ruin your Christmas, you might need to rethink what Christmas means. So I can tell you this, I was in Basement Marketplace on Thursday or Friday afternoon last week. Their shelves are full. You got local businesses that have plenty of inventory. Their stuff's not stuck out on a cargo ship somewhere. They're here and they're waiting on you to shop and do business local. So can't say it enough, but let's go out and make a difference. Every little bit's going to help. So I don't see any other questions. Anybody got any final thoughts? Justin, welcome to Mount Juliet. I hope your first 30 days or so has gone well. Glad to see you out and about. Make every little event a little bit more cheerful. Thank you. So,
hey, Mark. Look,
yes, sir.
Look, just 30 days is like he's already aged 3 or 4 years, doesn't it?
I know it.
This place will do it to you, man. Wait till
When
you
I'm
see him.
with Kenny, I do.
Yeah,
Trust
man.
me.
When he's with me, man, he's just putting on the age.
We're shaking hands and kissing babies and all that.
Look at all this gray hair, and I'm only 29. So
that's right.
Hey.
That's right. Hey, but
All
we appreciate y'all. Thanks for all y'all do. Thanks for tuning in and listening to us. And if there's something we left out or you got a question about or whatever, always give us a call. And again, let us know if we're not doing well on something. But I hope you like what you're seeing. I meant to add too that we're looking at upgrading a lot of the traffic, not traffic signal, but street lights in Mount Juliet to LED, sort of like what we did on 70, and continue to work with our commission to expand those. We think that's making a big difference. We just got a sewer easement for the park at Tate Lane. That took a little bit of doing, so now we can run sewer to the new park that's going to be added there. You should start seeing some movement soon. We're finally getting those things wrapped up with the engineers, and once it does that, it goes to bid. So you'll see the park at Tate Lane starting to come about. You'll see the park at Grace Church on Mount Juliet Road start coming about. And also with us working with the home builder that's buying 22 acres of our park down on Beckwith Road. part of the agreement there is they have to build the infrastructure of that part, which is the road, the parking lot, and the restroom facilities. And once they do that, then our parks director can start going there and putting some of the parks. There'll also be some upgrades to Mundy Park as well that I know Commissioner Mullally is very excited about. So there's a lot of exciting things going on, and we continue to do the little small things as well, but we can't thank you all enough for what you do to make Mount Juliet so awesome.
You know, every week or every month when we come on and spend time with you, Kenny, you talk about the projects that are going on. If anybody watching is not already familiar with that project development tracker, that's an amazing tool. I use it almost every day for one thing or another. Please send our thanks to whoever on the staff is in charge of updating that. And for those of you that like knowing what's going on and watch things go through the pipeline, it's a great resource. I encourage you to. It's in the GIS, and it's just called their Project Development Tracker on the city's website. Use it every day. If nobody has anything else, thanks for everybody hanging out 12 minutes longer than usual. Ray Render, I think you're still awake, aren't you? See it?
I do it to Ray every time.
I know it. He gets checked off for being here. He made it. So it's great to see everybody. As Kevin Sanders says, let's go make a difference.